Hey Deckers, welcome to another performance roundup. Some awesome games for you to have a look at and some performance checks today, but first, did you know that you can download games with your screen off? Yes, okay, this only works in desktop mode, and huge thanks to Steam Deck Reviews and Tips for letting us know about this one. But if you head into desktop mode and go to energy saving under power management, make sure that suspend session is off. Was off by default for me on hour mode, but you can also change this for battery or low battery, and then you can change the screen dimming. And if you are using an external monitor, you can say just to turn the screen off when it's on an external monitor so that it will just go to sleep and you can pick it up and play from an external controller or other bits and pieces so that you don't have to go and wake up your drive. You can see I can even turn the screen off, and then when I come back on, it hasn't suspended the session. My download is still continuing. Something else that I know that can get quite frustrating, the Steam keyboard just doesn't work in game mode and other areas unless you have a Bluetooth keyboard handy. Well, now thanks to a Decky Loader plugin, you can now actually use KDE Connect on game mode. So if you don't know about KDE Connect, we do have a separate guide for this, but I'll run through it very quickly. You can download the free app on your phone, and if you've got the Decky Loader plugin installed, I'm probably overdue about updating the Decky Loader plugins. Again, there's a guide for Decky Loader in the description below. But if you enable the game mode KDE Connect, it takes a few seconds sometimes for it to pop up back in the app, but I can now connect to my Steam Deck and do remote input from my phone. So if you are having issues with remote input or that Steam keyboard popping up, you can use your phone for mouse and keyboard so you can get through those hefty inputs or login issues. Now, very briefly, KDE Connect is built into Steam OS as part of KDE Plasma in the desktop mode. So to pair your phone, initially download the app on your iOS or Android device, switch over to desktop mode, and just open up the settings of Steam OS and scroll down to the KDE Connect section under hardware and pair your phone following the instructions on your device, and just say add device in KDE Connect. Okay, let's get into the games. Starting off with a bit of a nostalgia trip of Alex the Kid in Miracle World. This is the first game I ever really played on a console on the Master System. It's even got the retro mode where you can see the original graphics. I picked this up on Fanatical for just £2.30. And I'll leave a link in the description below. You can see it runs at a perfect max frames per second on whatever device you're going to run this on, with no major settings tweaks. And the brutality of losing a rock, paper, scissors fight at the end of a battle, making you restart the entire level, was definitely a nostalgia trip that I don't want to repeat. There's a fantastic new kind of Vampire Survivor style game called Nuke Them All coming out. It's gone into public demo now. However, unfortunately, this just does not seem to want to run on the Steam Deck. I've tried all the tricks, tried all the different Proton versions, and this is not functioning at all on the Steam Deck right now. Hopefully for its release in early 2024, this will get fixed, and we are in contact with them to try and resolve that. If you're into your Half-Life games and you want a survival mix, then Abiotic Factor is now currently in public playtest and is working fantastically well on the Steam Deck. This combines the Half-Life and Black Mesa style humour with survival style of Minecraft, Rust, or whatever kind of survival genre that you use, where you've got to build and kind of escape out of Black Mesa from being trapped in an early mode. So running on medium to high graphics here, getting around 30 to 50 frames per second, but definitely one that you want to check out if you like your Half-Life series and you want a bit of a challenge in the survival genre, as it combines all aspects of crafting, mining, and also monster fights as well. If you were extremely disappointed with Payday 3, then One Armed Robber will scratch that itch for free. This is free to play and runs at a fantastic 50-60 frames per second. There's nothing really much in the graphic settings. BattleBit style version of the Payday series with up to 4-player co-op, and that is all working on the Steam Deck just fine. Although it can be a little bit tricky to navigate with having one arm and the Steam Deck controls, especially with some weird snapping abilities on walls and other objects. Burnout Paradise Remastered recently got updated as playable for the Steam Deck, so we had to dive in and have a play around, and as you can see, it runs at a perfect 60 frames per second, which it is capped at, so it doesn't matter whether you play on the OLED or the LCD screen, you will only get 60 on this one, but it is a very smooth rate, even on the higher settings. So if you want a good blast of the past, then Burnout Remastered is a fantastic one to dive into, just for a bit of pure adrenaline fun. We've been promising an update on GTA 5 for some time, and I thought I'd just add it into the performance roundup, basically to get a solid 60 frames per second and above on even high settings, and pretty much any other mix that you want to run. Just make sure that MSAA is off. That's it. As long as MSAA is off, you're going to get a good 60 plus frames per second on medium, and between 50 and 60 most of the time on high, but that's the best way to get the most out of GTA 5 on the Steam Deck. One setting was the major cause of all our problems. Recently, Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising released, and there is a major free version of this game, and it does actually run fantastically well on the Steam Deck, but I had a really weird issue with this one where it would not connect to servers when I tried to input my own name. But if you just use the default name that it gives you of Skyfarer, it let me connect and I was able to play just fine. Again, this runs at a pretty solid 60 frames per second through the battles on the medium to high settings. So if you're looking for a fantastic beat 'em up with full online and also local versus, then this is a fantastic game to pick up. But the main game can be a little bit expensive, but the free version certainly gives you a good taste of things to come. That's my performance roundup for this week. I will look at doing another one in the new year and maybe even have a end of year stream for those that are interested. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.